Looks like I've got the best seat for a little church softball game. And I know you're thinking, hey, what could be more fun and entertaining than a little church softball? Well, I can think of a few things, but hey, I'm here. Do you remember when you were a kid and your parents used to drag you out to stuff like picnics and parties and gatherings and things of that nature, and you did not want to go, but you had to go? You had no choice. And you knew you weren't going to have fun because it was an adult thing. Just no fun at all. It's normally in those situations where kids get in trouble because they're crabby and bored. It happened to me once at a softball game. I can remember as a young boy going to watch my dad play softball. We went to one particular game and everything was pretty normal until my dad came up to bat. And he hit this nice line drive right into center field. It was a great hit. My dad was pretty fast, and so for whatever reason, he decided to stretch what would have been a really easy single into a double. And so my dad rounded first base, and he came into second and went into a full-out slide. It was just an incredible play. Well, then, two things happened. The first thing that happened was that they called my dad out when he was clearly safe. Clearly. The second thing that happened was that the second baseman actually fell on top of my dad. Now, the second baseman was a large man. And I thought for sure that he was going to crush my dad. And the amazing thing about all of this is that no one in the stands seemed to care. I don't even think anybody was paying attention. It was like it was no big deal that this small, fast little guy ran around first, slid into second, and then a big man just fell on top of him. No one cared. Since nobody would do anything about this, I thought it was my job and my responsibility to stick up for my dad and defend him. So I stood up and opened my mouth and called the second baseman something that I'm not very proud of and shouldn't repeat. Well, now all of a sudden everyone is looking at me, and my mom, who wasn't paying attention to the game at all, is looking straight at me as if I had just done the worst thing in the world. She shot me that mom look. And I think one of the reasons she shot me that look is because she was sitting next to the sister of the second baseman. It was a bad day for me, and I spent the rest of the game in the car. When we got home after the game, my parents sat down with me and we did the whole talk thing, and then my parents told me that I was going to have to call the second baseman and that I was going to have to call his sister and ask for their forgiveness for what I had done. And I was thinking that this is a really bad idea. This is not a good thing. This is how people get hurt. But I had no say because my parents informed me that this is what was going to happen. You know, I actually learned a couple of valuable things from that. I learned that it's not fun when you hurt people. And I learned it's not a lot of fun when you have to carry around a load of guilty shame. And I also learned that sometimes you have to do a hard thing. And I got to the point where I didn't want this in my life anymore. I didn't want to carry this. I wanted to be free of this thing that I had done that I knew had hurt some other people. And so I made the phone calls. I asked for forgiveness. And both the second baseman and his sister forgave me. They opened the prison door for me, and I ran out. And at that moment, I was clean and forgiven. This is what God wants for us. He wants us to live in an economy of forgiveness, where we're quick to give forgiveness, and we're also quick to seek forgiveness. So may we place forgiveness high on the to-do list, and may we know that unforgiveness is a toxin that keeps us locked up. It keeps us in the fight. It keeps us in the battle. And may we forgive again and again and again, just like God has forgiven us.